ассоциаций. И тем не менее музыка каким-то чудом проникает в самую душу.
Они ничего не желают знать, они только жрут.
run through it so that you
decision in the early
No, here, let me know what it said.
in September.
Of a board, and you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
you
now,
just
which
enough, but had yet to give an update on specific targets. The Dow climbed 330 estimate this election country. Thank you. This interview with Vice President Harris. Madam Vice President, thank you for the time.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, Brett.
You know, voters tell pollsters all over that flips the Democrats.
Because life should not be based
Hey, what's up, guys? You guys still watching the Bond premiere on the Bond channel? Welcome. What's up, Internet Manster? Lord of the Pies, new guy, he knew. What's up, HeBlack? HeBlack. What's up, Z? Hey, Kohlberger. Kilo, Chris. What's up, Jose? KT. Court Green. What's up, Walt Disney? Test. How am I coming in? Nice. Check out the Bond premiere. It's going on right now if you're missing it.
Ready to connect.
Changes, and you've talked about some of them.
Hey, what's up? Welcome. How you doing? You guys all finished up with the Bond premiere? Hey, Lord Spike Protein. LSP. Welcome. You listened to 3 minutes of it, Matthew? Where'd you listen to it? Because I couldn't find... I'm having difficulty finding it. You said you listened to 3 minutes? It's word salad? What a mess. I guess that's Kamala. Hey, what's up, Rome? Alias name, Living in Spirit, welcome. Yeah, there was a Bond premiere on the Bond channel. Are you subscribed and have you clicked the notification bell? And even then you wasn't notified? Is that so? What causes you to get stuck in the past? From 2010. Check it out. It was on Bond, the Bond channel.
Pay my bills, gonna watch over me spiritually, gonna guide me in the right way to go. What more can you ask for? And that's what it feels like, if there is a feeling with this thing. That's what it feels like when you enter into the kingdom of heaven.
That's funny.
Like,
Bond, you could hear the squeaking on the Hake show when they open up the office. That is funny. Yep, we're closing up. We're closing up the office. It's just gonna be the anchor, just the last few here. As the sun continues to go down, it'll just be the anchor baby here in my mansion. You know, I got hella TVs in my mansion. Also known as the Bond office. Hey, nice. What's up, Rome? Golden rule. Yeah. What causes you to get stuck in the past?
I could give up now and just live, because I got my father.
Hey, what's up? Delighted to be here.
My father taking care of me. So you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to worry, and you're okay with that order. But a lot of women don't accept that, and that's why they're suffering. And the husbands are afraid to tell them in many cases. A lot of time when I'm on the road, these husbands make me tell their wives what they're afraid to tell them.
What a mess.
They'll stand over there and go, "Yeah, that's right." But they don't have the.
We're all
Christian
stuck in the
men.
past watching
And they
this. That's true, Carver. Or is that just in your mind? What's up, Carver? Hey. So we're gonna watch this thing? The �𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 bobblehead. How do we get that going? I don't even know where to. Well, I probably know where to start. You know, Google obviously, but information is where I'd start. The �𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 bobblehead. I don't even have a shirt. I don't even have merch. What a mess. It's one terrible interview. Kamala is dumb as a rock. I mean, it sounds like perfect lab stream content. Okay. While I get to edit, maybe? No. We need the merch. Hey. David? What's up?
Oh, what's up?
Who am I speaking with? Is this David?
Yeah, Internet Master, David, whatever you want to go.
How you doing, sir? How you been, man?
I'm good. I'm good, brother. How are you?
All is well. All is well in the lab. Chilling in the lab. Got Bret Baier with Kamala Harris queued up. You know, they're saying, you know, she's gonna be the first time on Fox or whatever. Looks like it's not live though. It already happened, so we'll watch a bit. We'll see what we get up to. What are you up to?
I was just calling in. I wanted to reflect on something Jesse had said, and I just wanted to share how much I appreciate Jesse and what you guys do.
Nice, man. Thank you for calling about that. I want to hear it.
Yeah, you answered so fast. I kind of caught me off guard.
It's okay. Gather your thoughts. Take a breath. It's all good. Is he coming in loud enough, folks? Go ahead.
Well, anyways, yeah, I've always appreciated the show and Jesse's messages, and geez, gosh, you caught me off guard so fast. You answered so quickly, you just kind of caught me off guard.
No problem, man. No problem.
Jesse,
you can take it easy.
Well, one thing I've always appreciated was just, y'all's message about forgiveness and stuff. And, I know I call you and I tell you I like to rant to you because my wife doesn't like hearing
after
about
I constantly tell
Yeah.
you to stop saying that out loud.
yeah, she thinks it's hilarious.
You're
She's
supposed
like,
to be
"Why are you
supporting
telling
me.
that?" I'm like,
Image. Look, people are shallow. People are shallow. We're supposed to be looking beyond these things. I get it. We're like spiritual people, and we see beyond. We see
well,
beyond
yeah, I like,
whatever. But image matters to people. Okay, image matters to people. Sorry,
I'll
I'm a
tell you,
little
man,
thrown off
I
because.
love your show, though.
And thanks for that, man. But hold on, I'm a little thrown off because. Hey, Chad, are you able to see my camera? What's going on here? Am I frozen? Sorry, hold on.
No, you're
Don't
good.
go
brother. You're
anywhere.
good.
Huh. I'm frozen. But you were saying, man? I could work on this while you're doing you called in because you wanted to comment on something Jesse said.
Well, there's where to begin with that. Well, I wasn't able to really catch a lot of today's show because I was real busy with work. The show's on pretty early, kind of like starts like right when my work day starts, so I sometimes miss it and I gotta watch it later. And one thing I've always wanted to tell Jesse and to just do is really thank y'all for kind of how the JLP network really helped me kind of center myself and help me kind of like calm down and find myself. And I'm married now with the love of my life and a very supportive network for me. And I try telling her all the time, look, I don't think I'd even be half the man I am today if it wasn't for coming across the JLP network and stuff and finding Jesse. And I tell people all the time, I think my favorite thing I learned from Jesse and y'all was the lesson of forgiveness. And I think it's one of the greatest tools we've ever been given. But aside from that,
Amazing.
I kind of remember now why I was calling earlier. It's coming back to me. I was really calling earlier about reparations.
Oh no. I'd rather talk about what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
I'd rather go back to
that's a negative.
You know what
topic.
I mean? No, you're welcome to talk about reparations. I'm joking. But yeah.
No, I do. Now that I'm outside and I kind of got my thoughts together, let me get into the reparations thing in a minute. But I do want to finish on that real quick. Like, look, I want to say this, man. Like, I don't go to Jesse for everything. I don't think he's got every answer I'm looking for, but I love his message, and I love listening to y'all in the morning. I really enjoy when he brings his experts on the show.
Yes.
And y'all get to help kind of put together y'all's formulation. And, I've told you this before. You guys are the new media. I can't stand listening to some of the national news and stuff anymore. It's terrible. It's depressing. But at least the JLP network brings this, like, somewhat hopeful, positive, like, outlook on life about, like, look, yeah, things are tough, but be a man about it. Suck it up. Be tough. And you know what? Be a kind person. And one of the things I really think I learned from the JLP network was the difference between a nice guy and a kind man. And I've always believed nice guys are like pushovers, like, yeah, he's real sweet, right? But when you really meet him, he's not really there. I felt like a kind man's like that difference. And, You know, he is that supporting network that people need, that people learn from. I tell my wife all the time, I can't teach you anything. I can just be who I am, and you just learn from that. And we debate a lot of things.
Like what?
You know, politics,
If I may.
culture. We debate culture and politics quite a bit. You know, when I met my wife, she was very Democratic, very liberal, and I was very Republican. And I was fortunate that I heard the JLP message first about judge nobody, be the observer, and don't try to teach her anything. Just be who you are, and she'll learn from you. And that resonated in me real heavy. So when I met my wife, you know, she had her hard opinions. She hated Trump. She hated Republicans. But she liked me. And I was like, well, if you like me,
you're gonna
then
love.
you'll learn why I like them. And slowly, over time, my wife now, huge Trump supporter, huge
Base.
Republican, and she learned that those are the things that she values.
She values what though? Sounds based, man. Right on.
Well, she values family. She values the rule of God, the order of God over Christ, Christ over man, man over woman, woman over children. That's something I tell. Look, I did learn that philosophy through Jesse, but that does make sense to me. I love it, and I run with it. I mean, to me, it's natural. It sounds natural. And to my wife, it sounds natural. And I'll say this, too. I found my wife because I wasn't seeking a wife. I was just doing my daily job, just being me. I was trying to just like me. And through that, my wife found me. And when we met, the first thing I said to her was, wow, you've got love in you. And I'd love to exploit that and learn more about that. Yeah, I said that to her. We worked together shortly at a...
What made you say that she had love?
Yeah. Well, I could tell when I met my wife, I could tell there's a woman in you that
when'd you guys get married?
Wants to come out.
I feel like you may have told me, but when'd you get married?
About 3 years ago.
3 years, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
And best 3 years of my life, brother. Best 3 years of my life. And we don't try to teach each other things. We just are who we are. I learn a lot from her, and she learns a lot from me. There's things we acknowledge that make our relationship as great as it is. You know, we each have our roles and responsibility in this life that we're trying to survive in. I tell her, look, you know, I make good money with the job I have.
No, don't tell her that.
All you need to do is
I'm playing around. I'm joking.
But she takes good care of me. She takes great care of our house.
Nice.
And I give her this analogy. I'm a battleship, right? I'm this tough, wooden, hardened ship, and I go out and I fight the 7 seas, but when I come home, I need to be well taken care of, you know, like, not like a baby, but like, you know, like I tell her this, my battleship is only as good as the crew that takes care of it. And she's an amazing crew. She's an amazing wife, amazing cook. I'm very blessed to be with her every day.
Well, that sounds all nice and cute and all that, man, okay? That sounds all pretty and cute, okay? You can say that all you like, all right? But there's
she's in competition.
But answer this. What would you say?
I was just joking. I was just saying she's in competition with you, man.
I was thinking of going down that road. That's funny too. But I was going down a different path of comedy here. And, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all cute. Oh yeah. She cooks and she's so nice. And look, that sounds all good and well and all right, man, but let's be real. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's get to what matters. Are you the head of your wife?
Well, I would think that's a question for her. In my opinion,
I'm messing around with you, man. I'm glad to hear it. 3 years, very nice. But yeah, actually, you said it's a question for her.
Well, you see, this is where I love Jesse, but I think there are some things I could say I don't follow his advice on. There are some terminologies I think he uses. One thing about Jesse, I love the man. Trust me, I love the man.
I can tell, man. Speak freely. No, that's that I could tell, man. I appreciate that.
But there is a character there also. And one thing, there's some words I see him use that I think it's like, there's a better way you could ask this. And I'll tell you, one of the questions that he asks people that, as a married man, it's, dude, you can't, that's not something you ask you. Okay.
Wait, what don't you ask?
Do you think if I were to...
Because you're saying out of all the things he says, you're saying... Okay, go ahead. Speak. Go ahead.
One of the few questions that I can't really jump on board with is, does my wife obey me? I mean...
Go ahead. I cut you off,
well,
man. I'm sorry.
You know what? Please, I would love to hear you. I've been talking too much.
No,
so
I'm
please,
I'm emoting right now. I'm just doing useless emotes. I'll ask you a question, but I'm just going, oh. Then I cut you off. What were you about to say?
Well, when he says, does my wife obey me? I mean, sure, as much as I obey her. Am I the breadwinner? Do I make all the money and provide what we have? Sure, to a degree. But as I said, she does the other half. She takes great care of the house. She takes good care of our kitty cats. She takes good care of the laundry. Me,
nice.
She does a lot.
I see no problem with that, man.
I do contribute.
You guys have your role. You guys are working it out. You guys are building the business together. I see no problem with that so far. But I mean, I'm trying to understand.
Too. I do my fair share of cleaning.
Hey, do you think? Look, however you guys split it up, hey, that's how the business is running. So be it. But it sounds like you it sounds like you have a problem with the word obey.
Yeah, now this is the one. Like my wife also enjoys hearing Jesse in the morning. Like I'll leave him on the TV when I leave because I want her to listen to him while she's waking up. But I agree with her when she's the one of the few things he says it's like hard to be able to. I mean, maybe just because I guess I'm a millennial. I'm 39 years old, so I think that makes me a millennial.
No, that makes sense, man. Totally.
And I guess
you're saying that's why this word is a
trouble.
That's why this word is troublesome because of the millennial thing you said. Am I following correct?
Yeah, but I want to say this too. I have a big thing about don't be caught up in words. Don't be scared of words. When people ask me, am I racist? No, I'm not racist. I'm just not scared of words. Also, if I see something as it is, I'll call it as it is. If I see something that isn't, I won't call it that. And I'll make sure you know the difference. But I'm not scared of words, but I'll say this. There are some words that are just inappropriate at the right and wrong time. There's a crass way of saying things.
Like obey?
I don't know. Like obey. It's a little crass. It's a little.
But let's say, rude. Are you saying that you could say it in a nice way, but it would still be true? So you agree with that the woman should obey? It's just that the word is crass. Or do you not agree with? Crass, or do you not agree with the woman should obey? What part is it that you disagree with? I think
the women. Well, I mean, it just depends on who's who. There are some men that live in a situation where she's out there making the money and she's paying for all the bills and he's, living his lifestyle the way he wants. Sure. You know what? You should obey her.
But you should obey her.
Well, one of the things Jesse harps on is being alpha. I would think an alpha doesn't need people to obey him. They should respectfully want to listen to him. I guess you could call that obey, but it just comes off crass. I don't know.
Do you think an alpha would be afraid of the word obey?
Well, you see, now you got me, man. That's what I'm saying. I shouldn't be scared of
Or
words.
worried about what people might think about, like, let's say you believe it's true. Now, it's another thing to believe it's not true and try to make something up and try to live up to something. But let's say you do believe, but the word is just crass. It's like, but you believe and you essentially agree with the content and the message. Would an alpha care about what people think about that and try and water down the message, or just, be all love? It doesn't matter what people think.
Nick, I don't think anybody
Because you know where
cares
you're
what
coming
I
from,
think.
right? If you're coming from love.
I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious what you think. Do you think Jesse should be using words like obey when there's kind of other words?
It's in the Bible, right? I mean, it's in the Bible, and
sure.
I want to know. Yeah. First of all, yeah, the word obey is fine. It's in the Bible. It's totally fine. There's no problem with that. There's no problem with Jesse saying it. I don't really think it's a character. To be fair, I don't even think he goes around saying
to control people.
To control people, you say?
No. To troll them.
I really don't know. Look, I don't know. I really don't see a character in that. I really don't see a character. I think he's just talking about a very basic.
I love the man.
He's talking about very basic orderings of a marriage, and.
Well, that's the DJ Shock radio host that's just trying to troll somebody. Now, again, I don't disagree with it. There's times when he's using it.
Is the Bible trolling when it says the woman should obey?
Time. Well, I'll tell you something. I don't have a Bible. I don't need one. I just don't need one. I don't need a Bible to help me understand a lot of the basic messages that I think I've interpreted from Jesse over the past. I've been listening to y'all for like 10 years, about 8 to 10 years. I've been watching your career through the whole thing. That's why I'm so glad to see you with your own show.
Thank you, man.
I'm really glad to see it over the past year get a lot more popular, and I'm really happy to see y'all growing.
Let's go.
Can you answer
Was
something
Paul
for me?
trolling when he said?
And if you don't want to answer this, you don't have to.
No, ask me.
Where's Hassan?
Hassan, he's doing his own thing, man. He comes on Sundays, but he's doing his thing.
Does he not work for the JLP network anymore?
He doesn't work as the board op like he was, but he comes by Sundays.
Oh. I always loved Hassan, and then he just disappeared. And I've been asking, where's Hassan?
Just this past Sunday. But man, was Paul trolling when he said, "Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands"?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Did you have another question about that? I'm sorry. No, Hassan's totally fine, man. Check him out. He's got his music out there. He's doing his thing. But we were just together this past Sunday.
Hassan was a sweet man, very nice man.
So yeah. Anyways, was Paul trolling? You think?
Who's Paul?
Paul. He was in the Bible somewhere. No, he was like, "Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands."
Oh, I gotta tell you, I don't really know the Bible. I don't know who Paul is. I'm not very biblically versed.
Say again?
I'm just saying, I'm not very biblically versed.
Yeah, me neither.
I take a lot of things as face value. I wasn't raised in the church. I was fortunate for that.
You said you obey your wife. In what ways do you obey your wife? Out of curiosity, if you could say.
Who, me? When did I say that?
You said that she obeys you as much as you obey her.
Oh, yeah, you got me.
I'm not trying to get you. There's no gotcha. That's just a normal question. There's no test. I'm not like,
okay.
I don't have a list.
It's a fair
I'm not
question.
trying to Bible you up. I'm just talking to internet man. I'm just talking to David. For real, like sincerely. Because I know how people are, man. People could be, and I do this, I've done this too. It's like, you're already thinking of the next question. You got an agenda in your, no, I'm sincerely asking because, we're all learned. We're all learned about what a marriage is and what an alpha is. And like you were saying, an alpha doesn't need to say it. And I don't think Jesse harps on that stuff.
Oh.
He just jokes about that. He doesn't go around calling himself an alpha, if you've noticed. So yeah, so
Well,
that's why I'm
what makes
sincerely
him
asking
alpha,
you. When you
actually.
said you obey your wife as much as she obeys you, I want to know what you meant by that.
Well, that's a good question, Nick. I appreciate the question. I suppose the best way I could answer that is just a mutual understanding that, you know, I go out and I make good, you know, decent money doing what I do. Just a flat answer. I'm an exterminator. I kill for a living. And I bring home the money, and she takes good care of the house.
She loves a good killer.
Yeah, I tell her I'm one mean machine. Honey.
Nice.
Is
What about if there's a disagreement? Because you said like, yeah, we're on the same page. You know, we're on the same page, etc.
We disagree all the time.
And so, who's the final say when a disagreement comes up?
Well, you know, it just depends on the disagreement. I mean, but most of the time, I'll have to concede. Look, I don't want her to leave. I don't want this to result in us not speaking to each other for the rest of the night. And most of the time, our disagreements are pretty petty. And we have a small house that we live in. And so, I go to my end, she goes to her end, give it an hour, and time heals it all. Next thing you know, she wants some kisses and loves. So do I. It's not like I want to fight. Neither does she. And I guess that's obeying. You could call it obeying because at the end of the day, I know that I can allow my anger to get a good grip on me. And I definitely, I try to practice what I preach. I tell people, don't let anger control you. And if I catch myself in a dumb fight with my wife, I try to tell myself, well, now who's acting like the woman?
Oh, nice,
so
man. You keep that eye on you.
I tell myself to concede.
You keep that eye on you. That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to talk about your wife or your marriage. So look, I'm not trying to get personal with you, but this is every question becomes even more interesting, and I want to ask you more stuff. Stop me if we're talking about
it's all right, man.
So
it's not like
sincerely, I'm not gonna think
bio.
anything about you or anything. You tell me to stop because we didn't plan on talking. But we're talking about your personal
Nick.
stuff.
I love
it's
your
just
show.
every question that comes up is more interesting. You're saying you live in fear? What's going on? You give in? What'd you say? So when you guys have disagreements, you just give in? Is that what I heard you say?
Oh, jeez. I hope I didn't say that. Or
What were you saying? You said when we have disagreements, I just. What did you say about that? You just give in and.
Well,
or am I putting words in
we
your
have
mouth?
disagreements every day. But that's okay. We're not supposed to be the same two people. I didn't want to marry myself.
But you said you don't want her to leave. You said I don't want her to leave. I want to be. I don't want her to leave, and
right.
I want to be
yeah.
with this. I want to keep the peace.
Sure.
I'm putting words in your mouth. Stop. So correct me while I'm
No,
wrong.
no, I did. I said that, and that would be terrible. I would hate it if my wife left over a petty argument. Yeah, I do fear that.
Is there
for sure?
Are you guys arguing about stuff that could lead to her leaving? Now we're getting seriously.
No.
That's as soon as
Not
it's
really.
personal. You stop answering questions. I'm really not trying to pry, but so are you guys having arguments right now that should you stand firm or whatever? She would leave.
Maybe that I'm spending too much time talking to Nick and not her. Maybe.
Yeah, that'll end any marriage. I'll tell you that right now. Many hearts broken, many marriages destroyed. They can't
really,
help themselves. No.
I'll be honest. Most of our
What are you guys even
arguments are
arguing
just
about
pretty
every day?
petty,
What are you guys arguing
and we
about
both
every day
know
for?
it. Well, I would. There's way more important things to argue about. But
Like what?
I was fortunate.
Name one thing important to argue about. Name one thing worth arguing about.
Oh, jeez, that's a good question. Well, I suppose children. How we raise these children. There are debates you got to have with your wife about, look, I know you want to spank everything under the sun, but look, violence is not the answer.
Nice. Keep the peace. And it's not her job anyways. That's your job.
No, I tell her that all the time.
Yeah.
Look, when they're between the ages of like 0 and like 4 and 5, do your mom thing, you know? But she gets it. Once they get about 5, 6 years old, Dad needs to kind of just, that's when you start teaching them life lessons.
That's amazing. So you got kiddos and everything?
Well,
Or
we're
you
planning
guys just
on it. We
arguing
haven't had
about
our
kids?
first
No
kid
kids
yet.
yet.
We've been trying for about a year now.
Ooh. Well, good luck, man. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not married, man. I wish you well. No, I'm not married. I don't want to speak on too much. You know what? I do know a lot of guys, and I've also even heard countless stories. We get an incredible education on the JLP show, a life education. It's crazy. We see all these people, hear all these stories. I can't tell you the amount of guys I know in a keep the peace relationship that are miserable, man. Straight up.
Yeah, I see it myself.
I'm not saying anything about your wife. I'm not saying anything about your marriage. I'm
Mine.
not telling you what to do. Look, because the mind goes nuts, and it's like, wow, what's this guy? I'm only saying what I'm saying. That's just a fact. I know way too many guys like that.
I'm sure. There's a lot of miserable dudes out there that get themselves into a relationship with women that they were seeking out sex for. Now, I have a very beautiful wife, but I didn't seek her out for sex. I sought her out for the woman that was inside of her. That's who I love and appreciate.
You saw the love in her.
That's the first thing I said to her at the bar was, wow, you have love in you. She's sitting right here.
But what the heck are you? But what are you guys even like? You said you guys argue about kids every day?
Not every day.
So you guys do have arguments
call it
about
an
kids?
argument, but definitely a debate.
About kids? Like what?
Well, names. Definitely names. You know, I want to name my first boy Frankenstein, but
no, you don't. For real? No, that's you really want to name your first kid Frankenstein? No, that's worth fighting for. She's right. No, I understand now. Obey
maybe
her.
She's right.
That's ridiculous. I'm messing around.
But I'll say this though, man. As I started the conversation, I wouldn't have been the man I am today if I didn't learn some basic lessons from the JLP network. And I'm just blessed. I'm fortunate to have found you guys when I did. I found you guys around when my parents passed away. I was in a very lonely place. And I was very fortunate. I found Jesse and you guys very soon afterwards. And it helped me kind of stay out of the dark, stay out of the cave, realize that this is just another thing that happens in life and you keep going. And that lesson, that strength I learned from the JLP network helped me meet my wife today. It made me the man I am.
Well, stick with it, man. You got to keep it up. Keep going with that. It's a singular solo journey. Even though you're married and you want to have kids, this whole thing that you hear Jesse say stick with is the thing that you got to do on your own. Whether you're married, whether you're not married. Everybody who's in marriage, out of marriage, they all got to do it one way or another. Okay, so you're not like free from it. Everybody's got to do it, whether they're married. You got to do it on your own. And there's more to it there's more to it beyond forgiveness, beyond everything. There's more and more to uncover and see, and yeah, there's more. There's more than just forgiveness, man.
I hear you.
So keep it up. Stick with it, like Jesse says. Because this strength you're talking about is supposed to be with you. This strength you're talking about it goes beyond family. It goes beyond your kids. It goes beyond your wife. You are whole, and you have everything without a wife. So you understand this strength remains. This strength you're talking about, that is talked about, that you're seeking, it has nothing to do with your wife. It's supposed to be. It's the kind of strength that remains should your wife leave you. Should your wife And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm not bringing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's the kind of strength that remains even if she doesn't love you, even if the whole world doesn't love you. It has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? I'm not married, so I'm not speaking. Look, I'm just saying that I'm just trying to say that you know, it's nice, man. I'm happy for you in a sense, like all that you're talking about. But
it ain't
you know,
perfect.
this whole like
It
keeping
takes a lot
the
of work.
peace. The lessons are outside of your relationship, and it has nothing to do with keeping the peace.
I think
has
it's
nothing to
in
do
all
with,
of us. I think the man we want to be or the woman we want to be is really in you, and I think you're just suppressing the person that you really want to be, and then one day you find it, and then you try to learn that person more. Now, I'm not in any way. I'll tell you right now, I'm a huge beta. Huge beta. I'm trying to keep watching the JLC.
Cancel those words in the name of Jesus Christ. I want to hear you say it.
That's why I told you before. I'm the
I
penitent
want to
man.
hear you say it. Cancel those words in the name of Jesus Christ. I cancel those words. You said I'm a huge beta. Cancel those words.
I'm trying. I'm trying to be alpha.
No. Don't worry about all that.
I'm alpha every time we fight. Fuck you.
Shut up, asshole.
Wait, who's that?
That.
Oh, that's just her clowning around.
Did someone?
She was walking by as I was saying, and she goes, "You ain't no beta."
Did she just swear at you? Oh. No, I'm sorry. It was a video I was playing that swore, right?
Yeah.
Nice, man. I didn't know. Hey, wife, right on. What else? What else about this? I got thrown off there. What were you saying?
I was just, well.
No, but I was telling you to cancel those words, not because I was telling you to cancel the words, not to say no, I'm not a beta, to like lie to yourself and say I'm strong. I say that to say that we shouldn't call ourselves anything. We shouldn't be playing that game and calling ourselves I'm a beta or calling ourselves alpha. So that's why I'm telling you to cancel those words, because that's not a game you want to play. Especially now. Let's say for jokes or memeing to get attention, Jesse's show alpha beta. But now you, internet master David, you're someone who's been listening for a while. You know the formula. You know what's wrong. You know that anger is evil. You know that you are your world, etc. So now you don't have, what I'm trying to say is that you don't have an excuse to go around calling yourself beta anymore. You can stop doing that. You don't have to call yourself that. Because you now know the way out. You know the way out. And to say I'm a beta is basically to say I don't know the way out. I haven't been listening all these years with Jesse. And I'm not saying that to say, I'm not telling you to stop saying I'm a beta, to say that, to go around now saying you're an alpha, or to think of yourself any different. I'm not telling you to think of yourself anyway. I'm just saying to say I'm a beta the way you just did is to basically tell the world I haven't been listening, and I don't know the way out. And that's not true. It sounds like you are doing, it sounds like you're working on yourself, doing your thing, respect. So cancel those words, sir.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. Well,
yeah,
I do. I say it as a joke a lot, you know.
Well, you think the word obey is crass.
You know, now I get you, Manster. You are beta.
I'm messing with you because you said the word obey is crass. It's not a crass word, man.
You see, again, when I have opinions like that, I mean, yeah, how could you not be? You know, one thing I tell my crew that works for me is I'll be the first one to criticize my mistakes, you know. So, yeah, I just it was like kind of like when I told you I was the penitent man, you know. If you remember that phone call from a while back, I asked you.
Big time.
And I was saying that the penitent man will never know that he's doing it right. Like, you just got to live in a perpetual state of, am I doing it right? I don't know. I'll just keep trying my best. And, like the whole concept of seeking what I want is almost greater than having what I want, because it keeps me in a perpetual state of continuously trying to strive to be better, versus once you have your fancy cars and your deep blue pool and your fancy bed, that's good. Are you the penitent man now? Is that what you've achieved? I don't know. But so for me, despite any success I make in life, I will always probably drag those chains of just not knowing that if I'm there or not. I don't know. That's why I like the penitent man theory. Only the penitent can pass, is the quote.
I appreciate you speaking freely, man. It doesn't sound like you're but anyways, I don't need to say all that. Look, I'll say this. You give me stuff to smoke on, think about. I'll say, you know what? Everything. I was just having a conversation with a good friend just the other day, talking about wanting, and everything I want badly, it like shows. I don't know, how do I explain this? Everything I want badly, like even work. Let's say I want to work really hard and I want to be very productive, and I need to be productive. I gotta be, so I keep striving and working to be productive, and I have like an opposite effect. It has like a funny opposite effect. Yeah, in my world. Yeah.
I hear you, man.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate talking to you, man. Always. Stop fighting with your wife every day.
Nick, I love your show, dude. Again, you started me by answering like right away.
There's no problem, man.
I was expecting to be on hold for like at least 10 minutes.
Nice, man.
All right, Nick. Well, thanks for answering my call, man. I'll call you again sometime, buddy.
No, thanks for talking with me openly and freely. It's what I appreciate the most, man. Thank you.
Seriously, you got the best show. I love listening to your show while I'm doing my paperwork, which is what I got to get on now. So
let's go. Right on, man.
All right, buddy. I'll have a good show, man. I'll talk to you later.
Take care, sir. So anyways, I was editing. I'm trying to bogart. I'm trying to chill and edit and get work into while trying to do a show. And it's like, I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too. No, flights are on Friday. We did plantation yesterday. What's up, Lin Yan Chin? Appreciate you being here. Right on. Why fight? Why fight about anything? Man, what's up with my camera? I want to fight about that. I'm using the old webcam. It sucks! Where's my HD camera? It won't work. And my lighting, too. You saw me messing with my lighting earlier. It's like spirits or something. It's like spirits or something. They just want to mess. You know, all this stuff works. It usually is, it's just, I left it just like I left it. And all of a sudden, it just feels like not working. It's incredible. You gotta love it. Anyways, we'll use the old webcam. What a mess. What a mess. But, where were we? That was nice. The power of prance compels your blouse to sparkle in wake of Hake's good hair. This is just one of the truest things you've said, Lin Yan Chin. Hey, thank you, John Zimmer. Appreciate the earlier super chat. Says, see it to overcome it. Hearing someone as being crass or trolling generally comes from a place of fear. Words are just words. Emotions are inferred. Life is simple. Thank you for the super chat, John Zimmer. Probably a little commentary on our friend Internet Manster there. Fear words. Yeah, that's why I was trying to understand if he was saying. That's why I was trying to understand if he was saying that if he does believe in like obeying and the woman must obey just like the Bible says, but it's just crass, so there's a better way of saying it. Jesse could say it better. Or if he's saying he doesn't necessarily even see it like that, and you know your partners, maybe I'm putting words in his mouth. He wouldn't use such a word, and he maybe saw it as like you obey each other. I mean, it sounds like. Did we get to it? I forgot. I should have been a better interviewer. I feel like we got to it though. He basically believes that the woman should obey. There's roles. There's probably some gray area. I don't know. You could talk to him about it. He's a honest guy. Appreciate it. Pablo with the super chat agrees with me. Says great call. Caller was way more honest than most, including me. We appreciate it. But he didn't like the word. There's certain ways to say it. You don't want to fight. You don't want her to leave. But you're already alone. Don't you see? Don't you see? You're already. There is a chasm between all people. There's a void and you can't get past it. And when you think you're past it and you think you're close to someone, it's usually just feelings and thoughts you have that you think someone has of you. And oh boy, wait till you are confronted with the reality of what someone really thinks about you, and then you won't be ready for that, because you put all your eggs in that basket of that love. This love between people doesn't really work like that, I've noticed. But I'm not married or anything. Whatever. I'm just saying, folks, look, there's this void between people, and what you think is being close to someone is, you can only really ever understand yourself, and then you can kind of see that in others, right? It's like because you see that in yourself. Other than that, there is no knowing somebody. You can't know someone's heart. You see someone talking about their life and their reactions, and you're like trying to see through their face or their words if they're being honest. An impossibility. You can make inferences, you can make educated guesses, you could do your best with all that. I'm sure you can. Don't get me wrong. There's unsaid information people give off with body and beyond their words. I'm not being obtuse to that, but there at the end there is a void, and you can't get past it. And I notice anybody who thinks they're close to somebody, they're talking about feelings and thoughts. They're talking about what this person loves me, they'll say. Personally, I've never met someone that actually likes. This person likes me. They like me, who I am, the things I say, the things I... Personally, if you ask me, I've never met a couple where the woman likes the guy truly likes the woman. I mean, they have they're getting something, right? You're getting kids, you're getting a husband, you're getting a wife, but in fact, this brings, I'm just thinking out loud here, rambling even, but isn't this married people, tell me in the chat, it's not black pill, it's not dark hearted, it's this void between people, and the deceptions you have of that void. You think that someone likes you a certain way, but nobody ever really likes you that way. Because nobody knows you that way, and they think what they think they like about you is something they're just thinking, and what you think people like about you is what they're thinking. It's not a sad thing, but you're getting a wife, you're getting a husband. Look, tell me this, married people in the chat who have kids. When you have kids, your wife, and this is something that maybe it doesn't happen to everybody, but it's quite common, so common that I hear it everywhere. Your wife doesn't care about you anymore. You stop getting attention, you stop getting she got what she wanted. She got her kids. What I'm trying to express to you is that all these things you guys are saying it's black pill. You know why you're saying it's black pill? Because you think that's love. You think that that's love. You think that when she's got to like me. She's got to like, who are you? Like what about you? She's got to like me. And she likes the jokes I make. She likes, what are you talking about? Who are you? So that's what I'm talking about. That whole like stuff and the feelings and what you think that void is between people. That's what people think love is. Now imagine if you don't have all that. What happens to people? Have you noticed what happens to people when you're confronted with the realities? When you realize someone doesn't like you the way you thought they liked you? When you don't get what you want? What happens to this love you guys are saying I'm black-pilled about? It's gone. Gone. And now you hate each other. Now imagine if those things didn't matter to you. Imagine for a moment you're a type of person who realizes that you're wrong for wanting people to like you in that way. Oh, they gotta like, she likes the way I am and the jokes, and she likes me, and then you realize, oh wait, she does it anyway. Imagine for a moment you're a guy, you're a person who realizes that you're wrong for wanting to be liked in that way. What would happen? What would happen? An amazing thing would happen. You would be free of trying to make other people like you. And only there can love start even happening, okay? Because love is like not even from you. It's like an accident. It's like an accident. So yeah, you're wrong for wanting to be loved and liked in that way. That's not true, Nick. What the hell? What am I even saying though? What am I saying that's not true? So you guys gotta need each other? You guys gotta need each other. That's love? That's the same love that has you keeping the peace. That has you trying to have her not leave. Oh, you guys think your girls like you. That's what's going on. Keeping the peace is love, Nick. Oh my gosh. Now I know you guys are gone. Now I know you guys. Okay, now I know you guys are lost. Okay, never mind. I was like, oh wait. Chat, tell me. Oh, let's have a high level conversation about what is I'm saying, what I'm getting wrong. Oh. Keeping the peace is love. Never mind. I thought I was going to have a real conversation with people. Oh, never mind. But keeping the peace is not peace. You guys don't get that? It's like you've been listening for years, but appearances is the only thing you guys care about. You guys have been listening for years, and keeping the peace is peace. And then let me just throw in the Bible and say, "Blessed are the peacemakers." And suddenly the outside, suddenly the inside of the cup is washed too. Keeping the peace is the opposite of the peace. Wake up. Keeping the peace is the opposite of peace. It's hell. Wake up. What are you talking about? Now you're just adding words. Now you're just putting words in my mouth. Keeping the peace, literally the definition of that, it's a euphemism. You guys forgot about that? You guys forget that keeping the peace is a euphemism for, oh, actually there is no peace and I'm just going along to get along. That's what that means. You guys forgot English? That's a euphemism. It's a euphemism for actually there is no peace and we're hanging on by a thread. What the? But whatever, I'm not married. What do I know? Y'all keep the peace, huh? Let's just say, blessed are the peacemakers. Let's just say words. Let's just say better words. No, those words, let's just say better words. This is embarrassing, man. This is embarrassing. Oh, no. Not those words. Let's pick the better words. That's embarrassing. Let's just pick we haven't picked the right words. The words are the problem, man. You're stuck on the word peace, and you think keeping the peace is peace. That means you're stuck on words. Time to get past the words. Clean the inside of the cup. I don't know what I'm talking about at that point. Clean the inside of the cup like I'm some preacher. What's like? What am I getting wrong here? I'm not getting anything wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. You guys want to like? You guys want like? If you guys get stuck in like, you guys are gonna be in for a rude awakening when you realize that you're not liked. Or you're not liked nobody will ever like you in the way you think like is. You understand? Nobody in the world, your wife, girlfriend, nobody in the world will ever like you the way you think you being liked is. What the heck? What am I saying? Look, because you have an idea in your mind when someone likes you, that this is what it would look like. Nobody will ever reach it. And Terry's saying love and like aren't the same thing. That's what I'm trying to tell people, but y'all are calling me black-pilled. Y'all call me black-pilled because I'm saying nobody likes you, and all this like stuff and relationships and feeling close to someone is a lie. Well, let me back up. It's usually like made up stuff. And what I'm trying to say is that we have our own separate images. We have our own separate worlds. And so what we think when we're in our world and we think we're liked and loved and all that is different than the person, even your own wife, what they see in their mind as liked and loved. And so should that veil drop for a moment and you see what they really see, you're going to be disappointed. I'm telling you that right now. You're going to be disappointed. So realize you're wrong for wanting to be liked in any of those ways. Or else you're going to be miserable. That's what I'm trying to tell the people, Terry. She's like, but love ain't a feeling. Like, I wasn't just saying that this whole time. Y'all ain't listening. Nah, I'm also rambling. I'm also just chilling. But, anyways. Who's this? Who's talking to me right now?
It's Derek in Nashville.
What's up, Derek? Welcome to the show.
I'm parachuting in again. I've heard about 3 minutes of the show.
Hey.
So far, did we get the fried chicken thing all figured out from
fried
yesterday?
Chicken has been dealt with. I'll tell you that right now. If you people still have a problem with fried chicken, they're not going to make it. They're destined to stay lost.
Well, the little bit I've heard. So, by the way, what is black-pilled?
Black-pilled means to have no hope and be all doom and gloom.
I'm telling you, when I first called Jesse, when I watch church, it's almost like I'm watching a ball game, but I'm rooting for everybody. And Jesse's like the point guard, and he'll be like, "Have you forgiven your mother?" And then they go, "There's nothing to forgive my mama for," just like I did. I'm like, "Oh, here we go." It's like we're getting started now. But once I went through that, and again, I caught like of the show. I mean, I was with this gal. We would have destroyed each other. We would. I didn't love her until I let her go and wished her well.
Ooh.
I mean, I didn't love her at all. I hated her and hated myself. I just find that so amazing. Like it's this weird. I listened to the archive of church today, and Jesse, I think you said I'm paraphrasing. He mentioned about how that that silent voice can be kind of annoying at times. It's like, yep, because now you know. It's like, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. I mean, we would have destroyed one another. And so I don't know. I find it crazy. Like the whole, like everything's like so better now. And it's just it's real interesting. But yeah, this whole, oh yeah, because I wanted her attention. I liked how she made me feel. I loved when she was out in the little sundress. We'd go out. I mean, all of it, right? I'm like, oh, how shallow and nothing was that? And I understand why I wanted it at the time, but I'm like, oh, like looking into the future, we would have just absolutely 100% destroyed each other. I'm not sure if this is on topic or not. I listened about 3 minutes.
No, I'm following, man. I'm
in.
following. No, it's fine. No problem. You don't have to be on topic,
but
it actually is.
But I mean, what do you think about all that?
You're talking about the false love that people, literally all people interact with each other this way, and it's this, and we have our own little, we're in like our own little, we have our own little story in our minds with each other, and it's like, we're in the same room having conversations with each other, but we're not talking to each other. We're talking to our fantasies, and this is like a hyperbolic. Yeah. This is like a very exaggerated, hyperbolic kind of a picture I'm painting where we're all just totally lost, not even talking to each other. But it's a good way. I think it's a good way of describing it. Even in relationships and all that, we're like talking to each other, but we're not. We have our own agendas.
100%.
That's the vast majority.
I feel
of
like everyone's doing that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And
I find it very rare to see it otherwise. I'm not saying it's not possible, but you're gonna get mad at me for saying that it's super rare. It's super rare. Tell me where you see that. I don't see that anywhere.
Well, and again, I'm just getting started on this, but there are people that I thought, so-called friends, where the only reason we were even hanging out is like it was just this whole ego trip with each other. Right, we're basically talking to ourselves to make ourselves feel good. There was no dialogue, no real conversation, and again, I wish all this. I don't have like a bad word to say about any of those people, but I just don't seem to talk to them anymore, and that's because I don't have anything to talk to them about anymore, and they don't really have anything to talk to me about, and it's really odd. It happens just like Jesse describes it. And he's absolutely right too. Like as you kind of get further down the road, boy, those little demons gonna come out. Like they don't want to leave you, do they? But it's something else, man. But yeah, I was just listening to all of that. Like I'm so glad I didn't get further down the road with that girl, because I would have destroyed her and she would have destroyed me, and what a shame that would have been, And so, what a gift all of it is. So anyway, I won't take up too much of your time. Thanks for
Derek, man. Call me again. I appreciate you tuning. I appreciate you, giving in your 2 cents on this and what we're talking about here.
Well, I appreciate you, sir.
Yeah. Call me again, man.
You got it.
True say. Hey, HeBlack, thank you for the super chat. Says, y'all tripping. Nick Wright, you love God to love your wife. Your wife attracted to the God in you, not you, fool. You got some hopeless romantics in chat for real ski. Thank you for the super chat, HeBlack. In fact, do I have HeBlack on the line?
Yo, Nick.
Hey, HeBlack himself?
Yeah, I had to call in. What is going on, man?
Thank you so much for calling, man. Right on. And super chatting.
Yeah, for sure. But y'all tripping.
Tell them.
First off, the network is tripping, because how do you got better relationship advice than Joel? Like, how's that work?
Hey, I'm just saying how it is. How about that?
No, it's true. It's facts. Like Joel, he talks all about relationships. but on stream we're watching some stripper titties and all that stuff. We don't need.
Wait,
that.
what? On Joel's show?
You didn't see? Yeah.
Joel had strippers on his show? We gotta watch more JFTV.
Nah, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. It was this girl who went to a Diddy party, and Joel was covering her titties with like a blur.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm looking at like, what is this man? What is this man doing?
He was talking about all the wrong thinkings people have about all the Diddy stuff. You know, people be judging.
No, but Nick, stop playing. Nick, relax. Stop playing.
People do judge that whole stuff. Don't you agree?
Nick.
What?
yo, you gotta stop playing. Dog.
On Diddy?
Yeah.
Look, there may have been weird things, but you gotta agree with me that some of these women, probably a lot of people who are coming forward saying, "Oh my gosh, I was coerced.
Sure.
I was coerced by Diddy." They were there on their own accord. Okay, they wanted to be there. There was no crime.
No, for sure, you got storytellers, but the whole situation itself was just sus. Like, I'm not gonna say what was in that house. The girl was telling stories and all that, but the whole situation is sus. But nah, I called in because of the relationship part.
Hey, tell him, man. Tell him.
You're right about it. Yeah, no, I mean, like, you would think people would learn by now, but in a relationship, you got to be right before the whole thing can work. And when I say you, I'm talking about the man. The man has to be right. If he's not right, it's not going to work, because then you're going to be simping. And I'm not trying to, well, I'm going to just say it. Master, if you're listening to this, don't run around calling yourself beta. Come on, man. You got to hold it down. Don't run around saying all that stuff. Your girl had to come and pump you up with confidence saying, no, you're not a beta, which shows me that she might be a real one, but then she's going to hold that over you. So don't do that. Instead, what you need to do, follow the cross, get close to God, and find yourself a girl who's doing the same thing. Because that way, you're not going to be asking her for anything. She's not going to be asking you for anything. It's just going to work out. But if you're playing this whole game where it's like, oh, I need you to, you ain't do this right, you ain't do that right, it's a tug of war. And guess who wins? The devil. So the relationship isn't going to work that way. None of them do. That's why you see all these what do you call them? Toxic relationships and all that. It's the same game. So my whole thing is, be wiser than that. You know, you see people like to talk about IQ and all this stuff, but even the smartest people, like you watch the movie Idiocracy, and it's like the smartest people aren't having kids and are just living these crazy lives. But if you know what's right, high IQ, low IQ, whatever it is, and you do what's right, the relationship will work, no problem.
You know, I'll add to that too, because you can also not do any of that. You could also, because you're saying you got to be right before a relationship. And you know what's the funny thing about that is you could just not do that. You could just not be right, and you could still get a relationship. People do it all the time. It is the story as old as time. That is how man procreates, by getting into wrong relationships. Like, that is the oldest. You know what I mean?
Well,
so you could not do all that and still get a relationship. It's really outside of marriage and relationship and all that. You're gonna have to get right in one or outside of one. What were you saying?
I said, what kind of relationship is that though?
Literally every relationship you know, probably.
But like, are those
the kind of relationships that make babies?
Nah, like,
the kind of relationships
messed
up babies.
All right, hold on. Hey, Nick, you trying to go back to the hood with all this talk? Like,
no. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's good or people should do it. I'm simply saying that whether you were worried about because you're also talking about finding a woman that is doing all that. But the funny thing about that is that you can people all around us, the whole world cannot do all that. And guess what? Babies will still get made. Relationships will still happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Kamala Harris will be president.
Yeah, absolutely. That is true as well. It's just I'm saying that it's outside of that. It's outside of marriage and all that, being right.
That's my point. That's the whole look. That's like the duality of the whole situation. They say Satan has the imitation of what God actually is. So you have right relationships, you have wrong relationships. Yeah, you can have kids outside of a right relationship, but what kind of kids are you really raising? You know, you're raising kids that are gonna act up in society and knock the teacher out because she took away his Game Boy or whatever it is. And I mean, it's like, we don't want those kind of kids, Nick. We don't want those kind of relationships. So you got to do it the right way.
That's like the vast majority of them.
Nah, my kids ain't gonna be knocking no teachers out.
Nice, right on, man.
No sir.
We need more.
But what I will
need more
say
of that.
For sure. But you got three households, right? First household, the father is a Christian, the wife is a Christian. They both love God, and as a result, their marriage is based on their love of God. So they don't require anything of one another outside of the fact that they stay faithful in the relationship to God. So if there's any kind of stress on the relationship, they say, okay, my relationship with God is stressed. I need to spend time in prayer. I need to get closer to the word, whatever it is, they correct themselves. In that relationship, any arguments that you have aren't actually arguments because nobody's taking offense to it. It's not personal. But in the second kind of a household, you have that hopeless romantic simp type, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. And as a result, you have the appearance of what is a relationship. Like you were saying, you got all these people running around having kids, whatnot. The kids are knocking out the teachers and, you know, coming out of rooms and stabbing up police officers, running down the hallway with knives. You know, it's like the whole thing is just a show. Yeah, you know what's crazy about that girl is she was running around being like a motivational speaker. So how you gonna be a I gotta chill.
What a mess.
I gotta. Yeah, it's like how you gonna be a motivational speaker and you need motivation? Like you ain't even right. That's see the world. You know the world can be really messed up in certain places and certain things. But that's the result of that. It's like you have the appearance of what is good, but what the reality of the situation is it's not good. And then the third is just all bad. You know, and I think most households fall in the last two, where it's second and third. And as a result of that, people are in sin. They're confused. They don't really have any kind of knowledge of the world themselves, how to behave, how to even get into a relationship, how to improve the situation. And that's why, people like Jesse, obviously Christians, are so important because we're the ones who tell them how to get it right and model to them what that looks like. And the more we do that, the better the situation gets. So I just wanted to chime in on that. I'm going to drop off of here. But you keep doing what you do, man. And
right on,
stop
man.
Joel from stop Joel from showing them strippers on the show.
But we need the views.
No, that's not how you get them.
No, that's not how you get views. I thought that's how you get views.
That's not how you get them.
Oh, okay. Well, hit me up. Let me know how we get views because we got to do it some way. No, I'm messing around. Hey, HeBlack, I appreciate that, man. Call me again.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying. I appreciate all the calls and all that. Let's go. I'm just saying one simple. I'm just keeping it. I'm not saying much. I know a lot of people got things to say. Got people going a little bit. I'm not saying much besides your thoughts of love. What you think being close to someone is a lie. I mean, and not that important. And you're wrong for that. You're actually quite an unloving person for wanting that. So, you know, because there's a lot of things people want to be saying right now, and I appreciate it all. I'm just saying what I'm saying. What's up? Who am I talking to? Houston. We got Houston in the house.
Z.
What's up, Z?
Don't dox my location.
Oh, Lord.
Hey.
Sorry about that, man.
How's your day today? Hope it's been good.
All is well. All is well. Go ahead.
Right.
Thank you for your call.
Let's live a little tonight.
Hey.
Let's go to a rock concert.
You want to go to a rock concert? Live a little.
Yeah, like one of those angry rock concerts.
Yeah, like which one?
Like,
Are you on speakerphone by chance?
Let's see, Fuel. Let's go see Fuel. Let's go see the Red Chevelle.
The Red what?
No, the Chevelle.
You mean Chevelle?
Yes.
You putting me on right
They
now?
have a song called The Red. Say it again.
I said you're putting me on right now. Like showing me new music.
Yeah, this is what
Thank
I
you.
like. This is what I like.
Your phone sounds a little
'Cause I
funny,
get
man.
angry.
Just stay close to your phone.
Anyway.
Right on, man. We're gonna check out Chevelle. What you calling about?
Let's live a little. Yeah, let's not work too much.
You working too hard, not playing enough? Are you on speakerphone? Get off speakerphone.
Is this better?
I think so. You're not playing enough? You work too much?
Let's not work too much.
Who's working too much? Who do you see working too much?
Not me. Not me.
Definitely
and
not
probably one
Z.
of my renters. Probably one of my renters.
How'd you find our shows, man? How'd you find my show?
Because I love the truth.
A.
I love what's right. Yeah.
Let's go. Right on, Z. First time calling
What-
me, no?
No, I think
I've
called
talked to you
about
before.
my stepmother.
Yeah,
My
I've definitely. I was
stepmother,
wondering.
she
I'm like,
wanted
wait a
to
second. You have a different name, which is fine.
Take
Z's,
my inheritance.
Z's fine.
Z is a role player. Z is awesome.
Z, how's your life going?
Let's see. I had a big moment today with the Lord.
No way. Tell us about it.
The Lord. Okay. I think I did. So I have a renter, and I lowered the rent big time.
Today you
And,
lowered the rent for one of your renters?
No, I lowered the rent for one of my renters. I called earlier because my stepmom wanted my inheritance.
I remember that a
And
little
my
bit.
inheritance is like rent houses.
I do remember that a little bit.
Well,
And I
yeah.
remember you were also living with her, no?
That's right. And that's
You still
right.
living
So,
with her?
I don't live with her. No, I moved out.
Right on, man.
I rent a room. Rent a room is pretty affordable. And so because the room was affordable, I said, what do I need to take more than what I need? Okay, so that's what I was thinking, and I lowered the rent for these guys.
That's nice of you. I'm sure they appreciated that.
And they're living in it's a family and everything, and it's a nice home, and they do appreciate it, but I sold the house, and I let them know the house is going to be sold, and you got to go. But then I thought about it, and I said, maybe I can sell them the house. And so I told them that, I'm going to get you guys a good deal. I'm going to do something generous. And, I even said, just wait on the Lord patiently.
You told them that?
You know, after the because I was selling the house, and so I was selling the house to a company or something, American company that buys houses and flips them, and so I was selling the house to them, and so I changed my mind, and so when I changed my mind, I told the guys that are living in the house, I told them, you know what, I'm gonna do something generous, and I even told them, you know, make America great again, and I even told them, like, you know, after everything, they were so excited, and I was just like, okay, I just gotta go talk to these other guys, and I'm gonna call them at lunch and let them know it's off. And so they were like, yeah, okay, cool. And he's like, what do you need? And I just said, just wait patiently on the Lord. Well, I went to the other guys.
They're not waiting on the Lord. They're waiting on you. Go ahead.
I said, and me. I need some time. And I said, wait on the Lord and me. When well, dude, yeah, so smoke up their ass. Signed a contract that I can't get out of.
You signed
and
a contract.
I have to sell
but
the
you
house
don't.
for cash.
So you signed a contract where you have to sell this house now, but you're okay with that, or are you trying to get out of this contract?
I mean, I don't have a choice. I don't want to get out of the contract. There's no way I can get out of the contract.
And it sounds like you wanted to be.
I have to sell the house for cash now. And so I had to go tell the renters that I can't do it. As bad news.
So tell me, how was your experience with? Tell me about your experience with the Lord. Where this ties in, or help me understand.
Well, I just sort of saw that in my mind's eye that he was a lot bigger than me. You know.
You mean the Lord, God, or something?
Jesus.
What do you mean?
Jesus was a lot bigger than me. Because I used his name. I used his name with the people.
With the people you're selling the house to.
The renters. And I mean, I used his name, and then I had to tell them that I had to back off of it. And I just felt bad because I didn't go to them first. Like, I could have sold it to them first instead of going straight to this contract.
Mm-hmm.
To get cash now.
I'm following now. You are now stuck in this contract to sell it for cash, but you feel bad because you could have offered it to the family renters, that renter family.
Right.
So what are you going to do now?
And another thing is that, like, I should never lower the rent. Because I don't want to be in this mess right now that I'm in. And this all sort of snowballed from that moment.
So, interesting. So you lowered the rent. You're saying it's a mistake. It was a mistake because now you're in a mess.
No, I'm not really in a mess, but I don't know what happened when I lowered the rent, but I got really lazy. And, you know, I'm starting to think maybe my stepmom was right.
About?
Now that I'm not going to be a good landlord, because, for one, I'm not saving any of the money that I'm really bad with the money. And whenever, like, something went wrong with the house, I didn't want to go out there at all. Even though I thought, like, I would because I worked with my dad when he would go out there, and I would go with him.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's not what I thought at all.
And you didn't want to.
Yeah, I didn't want to because I'm already like now lowering the rent. Like, it's now like I'm sort of like reversed the role. I sort of inversed the role where I'm the servant of the renter when I do have a job to do.
So what caused, two questions, what made you lower the rent? And number two, what sort of negatives came from that? Because it sounds like you lowered it so much that you're saying that you became their servant. In what way? You're now basically letting them live at a much lower price and it's costing you? So yeah, those two questions. What made you lower the rent and what negatives came from it?
It cost me nothing, but just my peace of mind. And what was the other question?
And what made you lower the rent? What caused you to do it?
I did it for peace of mind. Isn't that it crazy? I did it for peace of mind.
He did it to keep the peace, chat.
No.
To keep the peace in your mind.
No. I did it because in my mind, like I was going crazy with the money. And I was like, dude, what is it? Why am I going crazy with the money? Maybe I need to lower the rent.
You were getting a lot of it is what you're saying. More than you needed or whatever?
Something acceptable. I was getting something that was acceptable for everybody, but...
And was having that money hurting you in some way?
Well, no, I started fretting about the money. I started fretting about.
In what way? What made you fret about it?
Okay, let me think back to that time. Because I was starting to get childish with the money. I was starting to like spend it on food and I'd spend it on a video game, all right? And gamers are bad with money, and I don't want to hear it.
True.
But go ahead anyways. Just crucify me.
No, man, this is a safe... No, I'm joking. Interesting, man. Interesting. More money, more problems. But now you're thinking your stepmom may have been right?
No, she's not right. But she probably could have made a point, but she didn't. But doesn't matter.
Let me ask you this. If your stepmother had either whatever, I forget what it was that you told me about it, but if it was either her taking control of the inheritance or whatever, if your stepmother had done that, would you have known what you're finding out about yourself now?
Well,
you're saying you're bad with money. You're saying, you're not as responsible as you thought you were when you were working with your dad. You're seeing like, etc. There's other things that you mentioned.
I'm brand new. I'm so brand new right now.
Mm-hmm.
So brand new right now. But
would you have known those things about yourself though if you had if your stepmother took over?
No, I would still be brand new. I would be brand new, right?
Yep.
Now yeah.
Yeah, man. It's really up to you,
right,
man.
so
Look, I don't know. I can't tell you how to live life. I can't tell you what you should do. I can't tell you what's right or wrong in your life. I can't tell you any of those things. But I can say, I guess ask you the question, what's important to you? And if what's important to you is taking care of this inheritance,
that's all I want.
But if what's important is growing this inheritance and whatever, and you don't have the skills, then you could relinquish it. But if what's important to you is growing up and being on your own, being away from your stepmother, now your father's not around, you got to do things yourself. If that's what it's up to like what's important to you, man. I wouldn't call it a loss. I wouldn't call it any of the things you're calling it. I mean, you're in a position a lot of people...
Call it a loss?
Say again?
Did I call it a loss?
Oh, my apologies. You may have not called it a loss, but it seems to me like you expressed some sort of... some feeling of maybe not living up to or failing with the responsibilities you have in front of you. Is that fair to say?
I think it was a loss that I didn't know I was brand new, you know, because we can.
Are you the new guy?
No. Brand new guy. What's up, new guy?
Well,
maybe I can be
Z,
how's your brand new guy. He's the new guy.
Z,
and
what's
I'm the
your
brand new guy?
True say, man. Hey Z, so what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now then?
Well, I'm gonna take the cash.
Okay, sell the house, take the cash. Is that the whole inheritance, all of it?
And also, no, it's not, because there's more. But there's more. And then with the renter, I was like, yeah, this is bad news. And
anyways,
you know, I was like, I recovered my reputation, and you know, I was like, I recovered it. Okay.
I'm getting a little lost, Z. Man, with the renters, it's over. The house is being sold.
It is now over.
So, no biggie.
All's well that ends well, and it ended well.
Because you gotta watch. They're watching for themselves, man. You watch out for you. You gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. You have this inheritance to learn how to handle, and you just take it slow. And there's no secret. There's no trick other than there's no secret or trick from what I've noticed, from what I gathered. I know actually a couple people who suddenly fell into a whole bunch of money. There's no secret or trick. It's about sitting on it, man. Sitting on it. And usually the first thoughts and ideas you get what to do with it, yeah, usually a mistake. So sit on it, you know. Say again?
I was using an excuse, I think.
To what?
I'm going to smoke on it, and I'm going to sit on it. I was using an excuse for something. I just know it.
Be a little clearer, Z. You said you're using an excuse for what?
I was using an excuse because to just be like carefree.
You mean having the renters and having that money coming in, you were using that as an excuse to live carefree?
Yes.
Well, you have that luxury, man. It's not something to trip about. Not a lot of people are in that position. That's not something to feel guilty about. You don't owe anyone anything. You don't need to give. You don't owe renters or anything. Look, you're welcome to do anything out of the kindness of your heart or whatever. Don't let me stop you. But you don't owe anyone anything, okay? You just gotta stay Z and die and figure this out, okay, man? Don't try not to spend that money and do your best, okay, Z? And if you're gonna spend it somewhere, spend it where, you know, where people will use it correctly, like Bond or something. Hey. But man, it doesn't sound like you've said anything. It doesn't sound so far like you've said anything that's anything to even worry about for even one more second, sir.
Okay.
Right on, Z. Seriously, I can't. So far, everything you've told me, I can't think of one thing that you should even spend one more second on worrying about or thinking about. The contract is done. You just got to work on yourself and keep it up, man.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, you know, you're doing your thing. You're not gonna. You can't go wrong, man. You can't go wrong. You're not gonna grow otherwise under like Jesse says, mama's skirt tail and all that. So I don't know anymore. I don't know all the details from you, but maybe you could call me again on this.
No, Skitter.
Huh?
Sure, I'm gonna call again. I call the show all the time.
Call me again. Don't hesitate. We'll get. We can spend more time on it. We've spent plenty of time now. Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Nick. Have a nice night.
Hey, you too, man. Take care. Z. Hey, Chaos Confessional. Thank you for the dirt cookies for everyone. A little super chat in the chat for the people. You gotta love it. Bob Dillo with a back-to-back super chats with a thumbs up guy and a little guy making what is this little guy? What's he doing? He's like he's laughing. It's like a little lemon guy laughing. Right on, Bob Dillo. Thank you for that. Dirt cookies. Bob Dillo with another one. With a laptop that says work. Very nice. Bruh, what? Wait, what? Carver, is this person a troll? I can't believe Nick gave Snake. Oh, are you just making Hake Report memes? Are you doing Hake Report memes, Carver? In my chat, no less. We love Mark and Joe. I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna. I'm doing a Mark, he says. For the thrills. Yeah, I don't know why I let him spew his vile lies for 40 minutes. Yeah, where were we? Should we watch Kamala, I guess? I guess we were supposed to. This was going on today, no? This was going on today. Supposed to matter. It's supposed to be a big deal. Well, I don't know if it's a big deal, but Kamala Harris on Fox News with Bret Baier. Supposed to be hey, Bob Dillo will not be forgotten. Will not be ignored with another back-to-back super chat. Bob Dillo, thank you so much for that. Generous.
That's 2-point edge.
So I know that Bret Baier, Fox News, Kamala
Good
Harris.
evening. I'm Bret.
She's supposed to. She did this one interview with Fox, a first for her or something like that. It's supposed to matter.
You're coming to tonight from Washington Crossing, Pennsylvania.
It's supposed to matter, I guess.
An exclusive interview with Vice President Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee for president. You will see it in its entirety. It is her first formal sit-down interview with Fox News. The vice president held a campaign event with Republicans who support her just before the interview here in Washington Crossing. This is the spot that commemorates where George Washington crossed the Delaware River on Christmas 1776, the night before the Battle of Trenton. First, a look at today's other headlines. North Carolina's governor says nearly $100 million in relief aid has already been dispersed to people affected by Hurricane Helene. Nearly 200,000 in the state have applied for federal assistance. Media reports in Israel say the Israeli government has decided on targets in Iran for potential retaliation over recent missile attacks by the Islamic Republic. One report says Israel has described its general attack plans to the U.S., but had yet to give an update on specific targets.
Would you guys get mad at me if I did a round of arena? If I did one arena round?
The Dow climbed 337 points today to another record.
Let's get to
close.
Kamala, Brett. Come on.
Ahead 27. The Nasdaq was up
Bret
51.
Baier.
The latest Fox News poll out tonight has former President Donald Trump with a 2-point advantage nationally over Vice President Harris among likely voters. That flips the Democrats' 2-point edge in September. Now, to my exclusive interview with Vice President Harris. Madam Vice President, thank you for the time.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, Brett.
You know, voters tell pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have.
Okay,
and
let's have it.
You know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you,
now,
just a
which
number.
is-
Do you
but-
think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Come
Brett,
on.
Let's just get to the point. Okay. The
We're
point
trying.
Is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have an
It's a rough
immigration
estimate of
system
6 million people
that
have been
needs to be-
released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question, I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So, looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our
I know it's on the
administration,
screen.
Within practically
One round.
hours of taking the oath.
With no sound, I can't hear anything.
The first bill that we offered Congress, before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the Chips and Science Act, before the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called
And-
the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021. It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the... Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding?
Oh my gosh.
But you have to
Wait,
let
this
me
is too
finish,
good.
You had
please.
the White House.
This is too. Wait, hold up. It's not that good, but hold up. We need Rumble. Where's my tab? Where's my Rumble tab? Hold up, Bret Baier. May I finish?
Hours of taking
She
the oath
says.
Was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called
And-
the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021. It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the... Yes, ma'am.
May I finish
Oh my
responding,
God.
please?
But
you have to let me finish,
You had the
please.
White House and the House and the Senate,
I'm
and they
in the
didn't
middle
bring
of
up that bill.
responding to the point you're raising.
No, you
and
got to
I'd
answer
like
that first
finish.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
We recognized from day one that, to the point of this being your first question, it is a priority for us as a nation and for the American people. And our focus has been on fixing a problem. And from day one, then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings, what we needed to do to deal with points of entry between border entry points. That's the work we did, and we worked on supporting what was a bipartisan effort, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, to actually strengthen the border. That border bill would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why I believe the Border Patrol agents supported the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is a scourge affecting people of every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people. It would have allowed us to put more resources into prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, which I have done as the Attorney General, former Attorney General of a border state.
Madam Vice President, a couple of things.
Prosecuted trafficking of drugs, guns, and human beings. And Donald Trump, but let me just finish.
6
and
Democrats
Donald
voted
Trump
against that bill.
learned about that bill and
When are you
told
gonna
them
finish?
to kill it because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And in this election, this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions, and they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue,
I hear you.
but actually is focused on fixing
Six
it.
Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the
This is
country
really
a
bad.
year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungari, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women
Say
who
their
were
names.
brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before
Blood on her hands.
a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So if it would
we having glitches, glitchy Mitch
have happened, this is
well
before
Mitch.
Donald Trump got involved in the politics.
back.
This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Brett,
those
I think it's
families
really- I think
an
it-
apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice President.
That bill was a
ensure
lie.
That no future harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election, because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Oh, we got a mother.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungari's
Based mothers,
life.
we support
I
mothers.
believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days.
Look at her
So
face.
do you owe them an apology is what
I
I'm
will
saying.
tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I'm so sorry for her loss, sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
But do you
Brett,
want to answer
in all
her?
fairness, I told you, I feel awful for what she and her family have experienced.
During that time, you said repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration even before. Let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are,
What's wrong about it exactly?
that it needs to be fixed.
What
we
needs to
need
be
more.
fixed?
I was just down at the border talking with border agents, and they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably, I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you, we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that that's going to get fixed, Brett.
Well,
that's how this system works.
That's the premise of this question.
But
There were
that's how the system
90-plus
works.
executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies. I'm not going to stay here because there's other things to talk about, but you frequently talk to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security. Why do you think they said that?
I think they're frustrated, and I get it. They want support. They want support, and that's what that border security bill would have done. These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard.
Get it.
They're working around the clock. I get it.
There's a lot of people that look back at what you said in 2019 when you first ran for president. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them.
Nice,
when it comes
Kamala.
to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care. Do you still support those things?
Listen, that was 5 years ago, and I'm very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as Vice President of the United States, that's exactly what I've done, not to mention before.
If that's the case, you chose a running mate, Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law. So do you support that?
We are very clear, and I am very clear, as is Tim Walz, that we must support and enforce federal law, and that is exactly what we will do.
She's sweating.
So decriminalizing border crossings, like you said in 2019.
I do not believe in decriminalizing border crossings, and I've not done that as Vice President. I will not do that as President.
So these are evolutions that you've had.
No, but let's be very clear. I'm the only person who's running for president who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations, from the Sinaloa cartel to the Guadalajara cartel, to people who have trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career going after people who present a threat to the safety of the American people and cross our border with the intent of doing us harm and cross our border illegally, and I will do that work as Vice President. I take that work.
Criminals who enter illegally and commit a heinous crime like that already get deported. That already happened. Sorry, I shouldn't pause it. I should just let it play. But on this one, since I already paused it, yeah, if you're an illegal, guess what? If you come in illegally, that's not a crime enough to get deported. But if you're an illegal and you drunk drive, that already happens. The problems are a little, it's easy to say, I prosecute the things that we already prosecute. It's just not good enough, Kamala. But how about we let them handle this?
We're quite serious.
Let's let Bret handle this.
This is a time when voters, especially here in Pennsylvania, are inundated with commercials and ads. They just want it to stop because it's every commercial. But many of them add noise, but a few of them seem to break through. This particular one from the Trump campaign has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
Bret brought
So
videos.
Are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender?
I will follow the law, and it's a law that Donald Trump actually followed. You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report, that under Donald Trump's administration, these surgeries were available on a medical necessity basis to people in the federal prison system. And I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump campaign is a little bit of like throwing stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump aides say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition surgeries
you know what, you got to take responsible for what happened in your administration.
Yeah, no surgeries happened in this presidency.
It's in black and white.
Would you still advocate for using taxpayer dollars for gender reassignment surgeries?
I will follow the law, just as I think Donald Trump would say he did.
You would have a say as president.
Like I said, I think he spent $20 million on those ads trying to create a sense of fear in the voters because he actually has no plan in this election that is about focusing on the needs of the American people. Whereas, at $20 million on that ad, on an issue that, as it relates to the biggest issues that affect the American people, it's really quite remote. And again, his policy was no different. Look at where we are, though.
They say
on plans for the American people, I'm offering a plan to deal with affordable housing. I'm offering a plan to deal with what we need to do to strengthen small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy. I am offering a plan that is about taking care of young parents and giving them the support they need. My plans for the economy will strengthen the economy, as have been reviewed by 16 Nobel laureates, Goldman Sachs, Moody's, and recently the Wall Street Journal,
plans
which
have been reviewed by the experts.
And vindicated my plans for our economy.
Why didn't you say that before?
His would make them weaker, would ignite inflation, and invite a recession by the middle of next year. Those are the facts.
Why do you think more people say they trust him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when you look at an analysis of our plans for what we would do as President of the United States, it has been clear to those who study and understand how economic policy works that moving forward, because I do believe the American people are ready to turn the page on the divisiveness and the type of rhetoric that has come out of Donald Trump. People are ready to chart a new way forward, and they want a president who has a plan for the future and a plan that is sound and will strengthen our country. My plan for the economy does exactly that. His plan would be, again, to give tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations in our country and blow up our deficit.
It's interesting you said turn the page, Madam Vice President.
A lot about what might happen.
Last week.
Future
what, if
talk.
anything, you would do differently than President Biden? Here's what you said.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I know.
And so that would be one change in terms of, but also I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump.
So you're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear.
She doesn't know who she is.
My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency. And like every new president that comes in to office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership.
Bring Joe back.
I, for example, am someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector, and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers and for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot about those plans in recent days. Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years, so what are you turning the page from?
Brett.
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade in which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and an approach to leadership that suggests that the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down instead of what we all know. The strength of leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength of an American president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Madam Vice President, more than 70% of people
that is
tell
about turning the page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
We want Christmas, honey.
The person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade, people
you're the
have
lever of
become.
power.
But listen. Over the last decade, it is clear to me.
We're talking
and
about
certainly
Christmas, honey.
The Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national security advisor, and his vice president. One, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is dangerous, and are exhausted with someone who professes to be a leader who spends.
What's going on, Glitchy Mitch?
and engaging in personal grievances and it being about him instead of the American people. People are tired of that.
If that's the case, why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be...
Hold up. Y'all hear that? I'm sorry, I have to pause it.
Supporting him. Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person?
Yo! Hey, yo! Fox News. Somebody check the... Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's keep watching the interview. I had to stop it for the chirp.
Half the country supporting him. Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a cakewalk for anyone.
So are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people. Suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to
the government
president today, 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔,
and maybe even Satan
at town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Well, he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you...
That was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. Ooh. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me ask you this, Madam Vice President. You call Donald Trump...
The significance of that.
You call Donald Trump... he's misguided. You say now
he's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room. And he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but you talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out, even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room, and have said he is unfit and dangerous and should never be president of the United States again, including his former vice president, which is why the job was open for him to choose another running mate. So that is a fact. That is a fact.
Madam Vice President, two more things. You were asked on 60 Minutes about the biggest threat that the world faces, that the U.S. faces. This is what you said.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
Yo! I'm sorry I had to pause it again, but I mean, look, I'm not saying that I'm a smart guy that knows all the, look, I'd rather not, because I'm about to wade into the whole Trump, Iran, Israel, and all that stuff, and is Trump going to bring about World War III? You know, he's supporting Iran so much. I was telling you the other day, isn't Biden and Kamala, didn't they give in to the State Department and the DOJ, whatever, didn't they give in? They call Iran the biggest threat. They give in to Israel. And you're going to tell me they're going to stop World War III? Like, come on. It's about the type of people who are navigating these relationships, not what they say.
Experts thought you would say China. The FBI director had said that. But you said Iran. If that's the case, what do you say to critics who look at the actions of your administration and say you're not acting like Iran is the #1 threat?
Well, I will tell you most recently, whether it was in April or in October, and then several hours on each occasion that Iran posed a threat to Israel, I was there. Most recently in the Situation Room, in the most recent attack, working with the heads of our military and doing what America must always do, to defend and to support Israel in its requirement to defend itself.
See?
And to give American support to be able to allow Israel to have the resources to defend itself against attack, including from Iran and Iran's terrorist proxies in the region.
Right.
And that
But those
is,
proxies were getting
and
funded
my
by
commitment
Iran.
to that is unyielding and unwavering.
Critics just say that you either relaxed or failed to enforce sanctions on Iran, allowing all of this money to flow into Iran, like billions
Let's
in
go back
oil
to Donald
profits.
Trump, who pulled out of a deal that would have actually put Iran in check.
The estimates
and then
in billions
it was during Donald Trump's
that
administration
go towards
that
the Iran regime.
That we had an American military base that was attacked, where American soldiers suffered traumatic brain injuries, and Donald Trump dismissed them as headaches, not to mention how Donald Trump has treated and talked about America's military and military service people, calling them
What is she even saying now?
losers,
She's saying nothing now.
has diminished the significance.
We're talking over each other. I apologize.
Well, I would like that we would have a conversation that is grounded in full assessment of the facts, which includes, I think this interview is supposed to be about the choices that your viewers should be presented about this election, and the contrast is important.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the subject of Iran, I am offering what should be an important contrast that is presented for folks to make a decision
and there are critics
that they feel.
who look at what the administration did and say and think differently. Madam Vice President, they're wrapping me very hard here. I hope you got to say what you wanted to say about Donald Trump. There are a lot of things
There's more to say. I have much more to say,
there are a lot of things that people want to learn about you and your policies, and that's why we
I
invited
invite
you
everyone to go to KamalaHarris.com, and you will see that I have 80 pages of policies that are quite comprehensive and should be accessible to anyone who would like to read them. And it includes what I intend to do about affordable housing, what I intend to do about small businesses, what I do
And that's why
intend
we
to do to
invited you
strengthen our
here,
economy,
to see where you were in 2019 and where you are now.
America's military, and ensure we have the most lethal and best fighting force in the world.
Madam Vice President,
And
they're giving me a hard rap
Well,
here.
I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh. You see Bret Baier with his Bret Baier at one point Bret Baier had this almost couldn't hold back a smile. He almost couldn't hold back a smile when a hunter or when a predator sees their prey totally defenseless. When maybe even the predator thought that their prey may have put up more of a fight, and now they're looking at their prey on their back, writhing around, and you almost can't help but crack a smile. It's almost involuntary. You almost can't help but crack a smile. And you're like, why? Why am I laughing? Why am I smiling? Why am I so thrilled and excited? Because the hunt is afoot, and her jugular is totally exposed. That was really bad. I don't know what to say, folks. That was pretty bad. You know how it goes for the sides. For the people who already decided this way with Trump is evil, and they'll just say, well, Kamala got mocked. Kamala got it was just like evil question. It was just like evil one-sided questions from Fox. They'll say it's just like these evil one-sided, but she did not answer any questions. It was pretty bad. It did not. I gotta say, it doesn't look good. KamalaHarris.com. She didn't get quite. We didn't get to learn any more about her than we already know, and she got nitpicked. Not gonna lie, yeah, �𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍�. She got nitpicked hardcore, and we didn't get quite to the nitty gritties of her policies. She keeps touting, "It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. The economy," except she doesn't even say it like that because that's how Trump talks. So she says, go to KamalaHarris.com. We're on KamalaHarris.com. We get 20 days left. Donate. We get, and I don't see anything about policy except for this little area right here. And here is a clickable link to events. That's not necessarily, that's not policy at all. That's just events. Okay, that's nice. We get an opportunity agenda for black men. So she's got an agenda to provide 1 million forgivable loans up to $20,000 to black entrepreneurs. You remember this? You hear about this? They're giving black, they know, like Obama was sweating bullets realizing black men and blacks are not going to vote for Kamala Harris. So what they come up with, they said, well, hurry up and give them money in pot. Remember, look, it literally says it on her campaign page. She told us to go to KamalaHarris.com. And what is out of everything on this webpage, there's only one thing that's policy, or at least sort of like policy, because look, this link over here that says Trump's Project 2025, that's just more talking about Trump. Well, let's talk about Trump. This is what's wrong with Trump. I'm not Trump. Vote for me. I'm not Trump. And the only clickable link that leads you to any sort of plan about policy is this thing about opportunity agendas for black men. It's right here on our website. Give them money and give them pot. We're going to give you free money and pot. This is sad. And I really, yeah, this is just sad. Oh man. And she talks about these homes. Oh, they're gonna fix homes. We're gonna build. Oh, that actually sounds good, Nick. What's wrong with that? We're gonna get homes. Finally. It's so hard to own a home. We just want families. Don't you talk about families, Nick? You love family, even though you're black-pilled, Nick. Now I'm talking to the apparition in my head. This is getting crazy. But I'm trying to make jokes too. Look, I'm trying to express to you this whole housing thing. It's not about a president. It's not about a president that cares enough. Like that's the problem. Oh, we just need a president. We just need a president that, finally gets around to doing it. Oh, that's the problem. Oh, we just need someone to finally get around to doing it. And this is the president who's going to do it. She's going to build houses for everybody. First of all, that's madness. They're not building enough houses in 4 years to get anything about the housing market affordable and normal. The madness is in the regulations. You can't build anything in America. You can't build businesses. You can't drill for oil. You can't do a lot of things. Look, this is from the whitehouse.gov. And this is posted by Alec Stapp on X. He says, "This is madness. In California, environmental review lawsuits seek to block nearly half of all proposed housing units. In California, environmental review lawsuits sought to block the permitting of 48,000 units, nearly half of all proposed units in 2020 alone." And that's just with this green energy regulation stuff. That's just one aspect. So fix the freaking economy and country by stopping all the politicians who seek to get these things done to get their pockets lined up and actually care for the American workers and people. But guess what? Republicans, Democrats, the whole system doesn't care about that. They don't want that. They're happy to dangle a carrot in front of you and say $20,000 and a plan to build more homes. We swear we really mean it this time. How about just take out the weeds from the garden and let it grow naturally? Let it do its thing. What a mess of an interview. I don't know what to tell you. It seemed like a mess to me. What do y'all think? I think she got cooked like a brisket. Indian brisket. Zenny, what do you think? What an I don't know. All right, y'all. That 20K is a good offer. Yeah. 20K pot and free Glocks might just work. She got cooked like an Indian brisket. What a mess. Anyways. I was told that this was going on today with Bret, so thought we'd watch it. Y'all glad we did? Late night cereal? Okay, now you're talking my language. You mean Kamala Harris is offering late night cereal for the whole union? Now you're talking my language. What kind of cereal are we talking here, though? Hold up. What kind of cereal are we talking, Kamala Harris? You got me. Okay. You got me asking questions. What kind of cereal are we talking about? All right, y'all. It's time to go home. Get ready for tomorrow. But one quick round. You guys got to see how I'm going to survive World War III. Crunch berries. Okay. Honey bunches of oats. Okay. It's going to be government approved Haitian cereal. No. Oh my God. What the? Leave those Asians alone already, Nick. One down. That's one down, boys. Oh, try to get that one, boys. World War III training. Watch your angles. Watch everything. I'm bleeding. We got one, boys. Oh, we're out of bullets. He's coming after me. We got him, boys. We're John Wick. Let's use our ears. He's coming. You're dead. You're dead. Oh! Yeah, I need to unwind. I need to murder people. Yeah, I need to unwind. I need to murder people copiously in a video game. You're dead. Oh! You're dead. coming. Surprised he's not in his Zelensky attire for this. We're looking at our corners. We're looking at everything. We're operator. Oh. Oh! Oh! Okay, we were first place. Now I'm last place again. I was doing pretty crazy for a second there. Boom. We got a live one. Oh. No, that's not how I spent it. I actually was selling graphics cards to buy this. I was hawking graphics cards when they were really expensive, and that paid for this. This is a 30. I'm running a 3090 in this setup. Oh, my mouse. Oh, great. What a mess. Give me. Give me. Who wants to die? Okay, my gun went up against the wall. Okay, okay. We're going around. We're gonna do a little funky stuff. We got him? No, we didn't. Mind games. Okay, I lost. All right. Do we have the mojo back? Nope. Come on. Oh, come on, that was a headshot. Oh, who's shooting me? Oh, who's shooting me? Oh, who's shooting me? Yeah, this, I was getting first place over and over again. I swear, I swear. I swear I got the moves. Oh! That was pretty good. I didn't get that. Come on! Come on! Yes. Bye! Lie in wait. Oh. We're back up to 4th place. Oh. Oh. Oh! Dang! Somebody save me. Oh! Doom Jesus is the only one allowed to type in all caps. HeBlack is flouting the rules. Get me out of here. One down. Oh. I was pincered. Darn. Is this the Chicago map? That Hoyt. They saw me, boys. I hear them everywhere. Woo! No, leave me alone. Darn. This map is Chaz. This is the occupied zone. Oh. Bye. No! This is difficult. This time I'm going to be in World War III. I'm going to be like this. Bah, 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 bah. I'll be like this. Get me out of here. Oh! This war thing ain't for you. Nick, I'm glad you got a job at Bond. Just stay safe. This war thing ain't for you. What if I get first place? Oh, I did not survive this. What if I get first place? Will that be my thing then? Did I really just get killed by Ultra PP Lord? Ultra PP Lord, really? I am trigger happy right now. Oh no! I did not swear. Did I swear at you? I can't beat those 15-year-old people. I can get first place, I swear. Put me back in, coach. Put me in, coach. There goes my mouse. Bye. We got one, boys. Oh, I just missed him. Oh! Alright, let's go home. Time to go home. Alright, y'all. We got Bible Thumper Thursday tomorrow. Darn. That's awesome. We love Bible Thumper Thursday. I just yeah, I guess I'm surprised that Thursday came upon us so quick. It feels. Okay, maybe one more. No, I gotta go. Nip playing games to forget that painful interview. Spanked. Yeah, GG. Bible Thumper Thursday tomorrow, folks. You don't want to miss it, okay? Okay, see, we got accepted too quick. Okay, this'll go by fast. 5 minutes, we're out, then we gotta go home, go to bed. And we got Bible Thumper Thursday, and then we got the Hake Report. Then we got, what else do we have to do? Did we do all the super chats? Did we do everything important? We did the calls. Okay, do I have any more takes? I don't have any more takes for you. Jeez. We filmed a punchy TV episode today. That was fun. With Bill. With Bill, the engineer. Oh, we got Tommy Chong on Friday. That should be fun. Tommy Chong. Jesse interviewed Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong. Thank you, HeBlack. Appreciate that. Nick, you're getting your arse kicked. Real gamers call their opponents N-words and J's on the mic. Hey, I'm a real gamer. Hold on. Come on, let me in. Let's do this quick. we're not in the next minute or so, I'm just gonna end it. If it's gonna take too long. Oh, we're in. All right, boys, strap in for the murder fest. No, I literally don't play anything other than Tarkov, and I really don't have the time to. But when they came out with this arena thing, I could jump in and do a little match like this, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'll do this probably. Lately, I've been playing arena probably every other night before I leave. A match, and then I go home. But yeah, don't really have the time. Okay, bad start, bad start. Okay, bad start, bad start. Let's not go down that way anymore. Oh, there was a guy there. Don't worry, we're gonna get our mojo back. I swear. No, what? This guy's just camping. Okay, let's get him. Got a live one. I am better than this, Chris. Come on. My platoon, my squad. I can't let my squad down. How are they so good? There's a laser somewhere. There it was. You saw that guy's laser got him killed. You don't want to leave your laser on. You're going to give away your position. I'm too fast. Quick. Oh, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Oh. Getting murked. Laser. How did that get me? Did not kill him. Oh, look at my ping. My ping is bad right now. My ping is at 200. I just realized. My ping is really bad right now. Who's using the internet? Get off. Stop downloading. That's just excuses. I'm not going to be able to say my ping is 200 during World War III. So we better get used to it. Wait, my ping is 200. This is frick. This is frick. That didn't kill him. Oh yeah. Where's everybody? He's not dead. What do you know about positioning? You don't know crap about positioning. You don't even know this map. How would you know positioning? We're not last. The first shall be last. Got him. Let's get a stronger gun maybe. I'm using kind of using a small caliber. Let's try M4. I mean M16. Harder to control though. This game is called Escape from Tarkov. It's supposed to be like super hardcore realistic shooter. Every bullet matters. All damage matters. You get shot in the leg. It's different than getting shot in the arm. Etc. Bada bing. Darn. Okay, let's go back to the other one. Going in. Where was he? Oh, behind you! Keep it moving. You see that? Where do you get me from? Still got me. Watch your six. Oh. I suck. Stick and move. Stick and move. Look, he's laying down on the ground like a little... Bye. All right, let's go home. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me shoost. Thanks for watching me shoost stuff. Why don't you run with the shotty? I'm not good. I'll try with the shotty next time. All right, y'all. Peace. See you tomorrow. Bible Thumper Thursday. And all that. All right, y'all. Take care. Peace.